our growth marketing trends webinar. We've got a packed agenda today and a little bit of a different take on a webinar and kind of a lot to share. So you have myself, Matt Butler, CEO here at Bonsai, and you'll be hearing from a lot of great people on our team today. Just want to quickly jump into the topics. You might also see Allie Banks on the webinar. She'll be helping us navigate today's agenda and taking all of your questions as we go through our different set of insights and content. We're going to be covering a lot of things. So Bonsai, we're really fortunate to be effectively, we're measuring over $1 billion of media and marketing today. And so we see a lot of things that are very successful. We are also able to see a lot of things and trends of things that are not very successful. And so we want to kind of cover the gamut of many different things that we've seen in 2024 and a lot of the big picture trends that we're seeing coming in 2025. And so our agenda covers a lot of topics. So we're going to cover some of the latest trends with Google Ads. We're going to be covering connected television. We're going to be covering Meta ads. We're going to be covering some of the things that you should be looking out for across lots of different types of ads, some bad behavior and measurement, and then, frankly, a ton of the things that are changing by the day and navigating the uncertainty of changes across platforms and tools like TikTok, CTV, and more. And then we're going to wrap with some broader insights and thoughts for how you can align successfully using marketing AI and solving these through algorithms and through budgeting as well. So we're going to be, covering a lot. We're going to jump right into some content. Feel free to share questions on the chat. Allie will be jumping in to kind of gather any of those questions that come in during the webinar today. And we're going to be covering a lot of the answers at the end of the webinar. So as you kind of go through, we do plan on using close to the full hour. So if you have a question on one of the modules, if you need to step out or come back for the kind of second half for the last, 20 minutes of our day. So we'll be covering the questions by topic. Anything else to add, Allie?
Yeah, just a note too, we'll be recording and sending out all of the slides afterwards. So you'll get an email with the recording and this deck that you're seeing today within 24 hours. So yep, feel free to use the Q&A for questions. Of course, use the comment section as well. And then we will send out everything in a recording.
Thanks, Allie.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining today. My name is Brie McDowell, and I'm going to be digging into one of the winning growth opportunities we see trending when it comes to Google Ads Performance Max bidding solution, more commonly known as PMax. So let's start off by recognizing that Google Ads is one of the most powerful tools in digital marketing. With the world's largest search engine and unmatched intent data, Google has a deep understanding of what people want and where they click. But even with all of that firepower, here is a crucial question every brand using PMax should ask this year. Are your PMax ads actually driving new incremental business, or are they just redistributing your budget towards easier, lower funnel actions that make Google reports look good, but don't truly grow your audience? We all know that Google is powerful. Shouldn't PMax be working even harder for you? Keep that in mind as we dive further in. First, to better understand this problem, I'm going to share this relatable cartoon. I think we've all been both confused and disappointed by the barrage of hindsight ads served up by ad platforms. You buy something online and suddenly you're being followed by ads for the exact same product for what seems like internet eternity. And as an advertiser, you may be wondering, why does this advertising outcome even happen with prediction-based advertising? Well, it's because Google's AI is incredibly good at identifying who is likely to convert. So good, in fact, that the result is often ads being served to people who are already on their way to making a purchase or have recently done so. And that, unfortunately, is exactly where your company is going to lose real growth this year. So let's get further into it. Let's talk about, what is PMax and what is it actually doing? And most importantly, how do you get it to buy you better ads? So the 101 of it is Performance Max, PMax, is Google's automated ad platform that uses AI to place ads across all Google channels: search, display, YouTube, shopping, and more, all while optimizing for conversions based on predicted user behavior. As mentioned, with the world's largest search engine and that massive intent data, it knows what people search for, what they're likely to click, and even what you value as an advertiser. It also knows what your competitors are bidding on and where the opportunities are. Well, that's awesome, right? With all that data, they are definitely optimizing your bidding with PMax. Nothing further needed, right? Well, the Bonsai team has been digging into PMax performance for quite some time. And one thing that keeps showing up about what it's actually doing is Google's AI is spending a ton of your money on what it calls unknown clicks. Let's take a closer look. So while PMax is buying the traditional array of ad types, did you know that it's also serving up a considerable amount of unknown ad types? So of these unknown ad types, we've identified that these include Google Apps, Maps, News, Calendar, Gmail, and more. Another thing we've identified is that ad types in this unknown category are mostly reported as free interactions, which you may be thinking, hold on, Bree, did you say free? I love free. What could be wrong with that? Well, so does the math. You see, when you combine zero cost with your actual cost, it will in turn lower cost averages. That will then paint, a marketing masterpiece of high ROAS and low CPA. So please, folks, I'm asking you, do not fall for that one. An additional characteristic to be aware of is that the majority of the time we see that these clicks don't actually lead to your website or PDPs, so not exactly money well spent. From here, let's layer in a multi-channel program, and those unknown ad types that I mentioned are now swarming your bidding strategy. This unknown category type becomes a whopping average of 80% of your ad activity and 25% of your spend. What this then results in for your business is a huge amount of existing site visitors and customers, but not the incremental ones that you're investing your budget and those business growth objectives on with Google. So folks, what I'm trying to say here is if your goal this year is growth, that presents a problem. PMax's default settings aren't designed to prioritize new customers. They're actually designed to optimize for any conversion, even if that means retargeting somebody, who would have bought anyway. So what do? How do you fix this? It really comes down to the power of your own first-party data. If you feed Google the right signals so it prioritizes actual incremental conversions instead of just chasing those easy wins. The good news is, over here at Bonsai, we make it easy. We do have a proprietary bidding algorithm solution that will help your brands take control of this. If I've got you wondering what this looks like for your business, I would encourage you to reach out for a free audit and see exactly where your PMax spend is going, and also learn how to optimize for true growth. You guys, the key takeaway on this trend is that Google's AI is powerful, but it only knows what you tell it. The key to making PMax actually drive growth is to feed it the right data. If you feed it first-party data insights that prioritize true incrementality over recycled conversions. Thank you for listening. There's more great insights and growth opportunities coming your way. I'm going to kick it back to Allie and Matt. Hey everyone, thanks.
Sorry about that. All right, thank you, Bree. We're going to jump into some other insights across media and TV next. So if I get this.
Entering 2025,
hand it over to Lydia.
TV remains a key channel to tell the world about your brand. It also remains a difficult channel to measure well. Last year, our retail and services clients faced 3 main challenges with measuring the impact of their TV investment. Number 1, the time to insight is too long. Waiting an entire year or even just a quarter renders any insights you may get about TV unactionable and sometimes worthless. Number 2, traditional measurement may undervalue upper funnel channels with longer conversion times like TV. And number 3, traditional MMMs do not provide enough granularity of insight. They may tell you to increase or decrease your TV budget, but you're still in the dark about which specific networks or day parts you should invest in or divest from. We've officially launched Overstory Media Mix Modeling, which solves these problems by being faster, more accurate, and more granular than the traditional options in market today. Speed. Overstory MMM time to insight is 15 days. For Aspen Dental, this represented a 90% improvement from their previous solution. Accuracy. Overstory MMM has custom success metrics and custom impact windows to ensure that TV is not graded the same as paid search. Gab Wireless utilizes 2 success metrics, devices sold and brand awareness, which is a measure of net new direct web visitors and organic brand searches. This framework showed Gab that while TV does not necessarily drive same-day purchases, it does drive new prospects to their site. Using this brand awareness model, plus average conversion rate and LTV metrics, Gab knows their TV produces an incremental ROI above $3. Beyond custom success metrics, our Bonsai subject matter experts also advise each Overstory client on the right impact window for each measured channel. Essentially, an impact window represents the period of time we expect to wait between a prospect viewing or clicking on an ad and making a purchase. High-intent, low-funnel channels like paid search typically have short impact windows of 1 to 3 days, whereas a channel like TV typically has a longer impact window of 14 to 30 days. And granularity. Aspen Dental's media mix model has 18 granular segments, allowing them to use results to optimize each of their TV platforms by daypart or network. Now, the bad news is that even the most advanced media mix model will not be able to answer every single one of your measurement questions. The good news is that we've also launched Overstory Match Market Testing, which fills in the gaps. One example of many, Gab Wireless used Overstory business reporting and attribution to form a hypothesis that buying a 15-second spot during the Georgia v. Tennessee game would drive incremental business. MMM wasn't a good candidate for measurement since the impact of regional TV buys gets drowned out in a national media mix model. Instead, we used Overstory MMT to measure how much more business was impacted in Atlanta and Knoxville compared to how business changed in 2 control markets. We measured a 22% lift in orders, giving Gab the confidence to continue investing in college football and basketball spots going forward.
Thank you, Lydia. We're going to jump from good and modern measurement into some issues we're seeing across, let's say, bad measurement and bad outcomes. I'm going to pivot over to Allie Banks, and she's going to take us through some things for us to be looking at.
Hi, everyone. Our next trend to avoid in 2025 is a scammy nature that can come with working with affiliate partners. At Bonsai, we've seen many clients come in the door using affiliate marketing partners, and then they come to find that their program isn't driving any value. Today, we're going to dive into affiliate marketing in depth. Let's jump in. Affiliate marketing is poised with big players like Rakuten, Honey, Groupon, and many, many more. These are great, right? Well, in recent months, it's come out that these partners with browser extensions can be quite scammy. Honey, for example, is one of those browser extensions that was unknowingly changing link parameters, stripping the creator UTM tracking and replacing it with Honey information. The scam here is that A, Honey is changing URLs, and B, this was happening even when promo codes weren't being redeemed. So why does this matter? Well, remember, you're still paying commissions, so you could have been paying Honey for not doing anything. So how do we identify and change this in the future? To solve this, let's start at the beginning. Your program probably looks like this. You have a select group of partners you work with, maybe all the big promo coupon sites. You set a goal for them to drive conversions, and then you pay them for driving these customers. When you set up your program, you're paying a full commission to a partner for their contribution in driving someone to your company. But in reality, that person probably knew about your brand and was just looking to get a discount code to pay less. So you've paid a full commission for someone who was going to purchase anyway, and they purchase for less. The affiliate misconception is that these partners are bringing in net new customers and driving loads of value, which probably isn't true, especially if you're using the big coupon code sites. So what does affiliate do for a brand? Well, affiliates can grow your business, but you need transparency in their impact. How do you do that? Well, for starters, you can look at their performance through the lens of a first-party multi-touch attribution framework. Because this channel is click-based, we can see a digital footprint and can then tie these clicks to purchases. With a first-party MTA, you can also see a customer's full, complete journey, not just last click. For affiliates, this helps us build more context into how they're being used. Are they at the beginning of a journey where someone is just learning about you? Or are they at the end when someone wants a discount on the product they already have in their cart? Knowing this will help you scale your program with efficiency. At Bonsai, we build our first-party MTAs by matching the affiliate IDs to order IDs and building the entire customer journey out by person. We can also investigate these clicks and identify if those browser extensions really are changing the links. When we look at affiliate marketing's true impact on driving sales through a first-party MTA lens, we'll often see things like you overpaid on commissions and didn't see as much revenue or value to the business as you expected. That can be because of the browser extension practice of overcounting clicks and conversions, and because we're now able to see where in the journey your affiliate is showing up. Was it at the beginning or at the end? Because we're building out that customer journey, we're seeing more information than just a ROAS number. We can tell you which partners are bringing in net new customers and introducing your brand to more people, and which ones people are surfing for promo codes. This can help you scale down certain programs and scale into more niche programs that will build you better audiences. There are good affiliate marketing programs, and those are typically the ones with really good structured commissions and working with niche affiliate partners who can introduce new customers to brands. These will be much smaller than big coupon partners, but will be more valuable to your brand. We've been working with Gab for some years now, and last year they decided to in-house their affiliate marketing management and scale their program based on what they were seeing from their first-party MTA. In doing that, they were able to grow their ROAS to 4.5 in 2024 by working with partners who drive new customers and more value than previous partners. I know no marketing channel is perfect, but affiliate marketing can be deceiving. The key to success is scaling your commission payouts to something that will add value to the business and finding good partners who will introduce your brand to new people.
Thanks so much, Ellie. We want to bring in Mike Sachs from our customer success team to dive into some additional insights across the Meta platform and a bunch of the other changes across the ever-evolving landscape of social and connected television.
Hello, my name is Michael Sachs, Head of Performance Marketing here at Bonsai. My mission in marketing is to help marketers leverage their first-party measurement and utilize their data in marketing platforms. Today, I will discuss our perspective on Meta as a channel and what to expect in an ever-changing marketing landscape. There are generally two scenarios I find with Meta programs through an audit. One, they are over-leveraged in Meta because they're using third-party pixel conversion as their only metric for success. Or two, underutilized because it shows poor website attribution. The first problem causes Meta to overserve to your existing customer base that would already have purchased. And the second scenario causes you to miss introducing your brand or product to a new intent audience. The challenge with Meta is the shrinking relationship between clicks on Meta and business results. We chalk this up to the way users interact with Meta on their mobile devices or tablets. How many of these interactions are happening because of misclicks and low intent? This leads to clicks and users with high bounce rates and low attribution. The other challenge is it leads to platforms only serving static ads because that's what they see as success. This limits our ability to tell a brand or product story on the Meta platforms. We acknowledge that clicks do look bad when you measure them in a silo versus other channels. But is there more to the story when we look at measuring Meta based on impressions instead of clicks? By switching your measurement to impression-based modeling, you can begin to treat Meta like a TV platform. This allows you to get a true sense of reach and impact messaging on Meta has to your brand awareness and business results. In this example, we see attribution is undercounting our channel ROAS by over 85%. But viewed through the lens of incrementality modeling, we see it generating $3 per every dollar of investment versus being underwater. The challenge becomes, how do we buy Meta outside of using pixel conversion? What is the best way to reach a new audience without over-investing in remarketing? In this example, we are acknowledging ASC can be a good first step to expanding your audience and messaging on Meta. The sooner we embrace AI and its ability to target the right audience with the correct message, the better off we are. This reduces the number of day-to-day decisions we make on a platform. When we do click-based ad buying alone, we're finding audiences that don't align with our business goals and create poor result. At Bonsai, we have come up with a better way to buy your ads. That is our Facebook predictive click value. We go one step beyond the click or impression. We look at how previous users on Meta have interacted with your business and give each clicked user a value calculation for their propensity to become a future customer. This is based on over 30 features like demo, device, and even step in their user journey. This lets you find a more expansive audience while leveraging your first-party data to create the ultimate lookalike audience. A lookalike audience not developed by how Meta views your business, but an audience that actually creates value for your brand. Hello, my name is Michael Sachs, Head of Performance Marketing here at Bonsai. Hello. It is important that we view all our channels and potential channels in a unified measurement framework. The world of marketing evolves faster than we can keep up. But one thing can remain constant: first-party measurement principles. Today's marketing platforms are not going to be the same 5 years from now, and in some cases might not exist. As long as we keep our measurement view of the world consistent, we will be able to buy on any channel with a profit-centric strategy. Here are just a few of the biggest changes to marketing in the last 6 months. We have the ping-ponging of TikTok being here one day and gone the next. My prediction is that TikTok will be here to stay. But what will social media look like a year from now? Popular culture changes faster than we can predict, so being agile around social media is a must to make sure you're finding the right audience for your brand and product. CTV is one of those trends that has a lot of upside. The fact we have more ways than ever to get in front of an audience on a set-top device. This has lowered the barrier to entry for TV for all marketing programs. The one downside of CTV is that it can suffer the same fate as programmatic by serving too many ads to our already bought customers. This is something to monitor with the future of CTV. As an SEM practitioner, this trend fascinates me the most. AI-driven search experiences. What will our search ads look like in the future? With people using AI and search engines differently than I would have ever guessed, will Google Ads continue to be the innovator in search? Or is there a new platform that doesn't exist today that will be the future of digital marketing? Those are just three of the major changes coming to digital marketing in the next few years. The optimist in me is bullish on the future of marketing, even as our traditional targeting and measurement deprecate. We have more opportunities than ever to reach new audiences with new type of messaging than ever before. There are three questions I want you to ask when you're assessing a new platform to show ads on. Is this a new audience I'm reaching where I'm currently unable to reach today? What are the mechanisms with which I'm buying on this platform? And does it align with my audience goals? And how am I measuring this channel's impact on profitable growth? Thank you all. It is important that we
Apologize for that. Thank you guys for bearing with on the recordings. And thank you, Mike, for diving into those predictions for the future of social and other tools in 2025. We have one kind of final set of insights we want to share, and we want to kind of address the topic of AI head on. The question we get, not just from current clients, but also from just folks we talk to in this space, is how do we drive growth? How do we really utilize AI from the perspective of either growing top line, bottom line, or just overall success this year and beyond? We want to make sure we answer that question with a couple key simple things that any marketing team and any marketing organization can take on this year, especially with the tools at your disposal today. So we're going to talk about two ways that you can leverage AI to improve outcomes. The first thing we're going to talk about is how you can use AI and how you can apply this AI for bidding better in 2025. The second thing we're going to talk about is how to apply AI and all of this great first-party data to how you budget your marketing plan in 2025. This ultimately will boil down to changing two key things about bids and budgets. If you're on this webinar, you probably already use AI-powered bid optimization. So you're probably managing or working on multi-channel programs, managing a lot of data and investment for your brand. So AI-powered bid optimization is not new to you if you use Google TROAS or Facebook's automated tools. Now that AI is trained on the conversion data from Google or Facebook, or as we call it, third-party conversion data. And then those bids are optimized to all of the sales data that those tools are tracking. That includes non-incremental sales. The signal strength of the data powering those bids is essentially all the conversions that come in. So for as many sales as you get, that's essentially as many data points as are training the bidding AI. And then from a data privacy perspective, because it's tied to conversion data, you're ultimately sharing data about customer outcomes or sharing some level of customer data with these ad platforms. Those paradigms change when you keep the AI-powered bid optimization, but change to a world where your AI is not trained on third-party conversion data, but is trained on incremental first-party value. This is going to allow your bids to be optimized not to non-incremental sales, but to the incremental business outcomes and ultimately incremental P&L impact for the business. First-party value prediction allows you to not just get a signal for the clicks that lead to a conversion in a last click basis, which is essentially how third-party data is tracked and aggregated today, but it's going to allow you to have a value prediction for every click or have the strength of the AI be trained on a data point for every click that you buy. And then the other beauty is that from a data privacy perspective, since we're not tying it to a tracking of a third-party data point from a conversion perspective, and we're actually predicting the value of your ad interactions, you don't need to share customer data with ad platforms at all. So there's zero customer data shared, which is much better from a data privacy perspective. Let's talk about how you budget. So a lot of organizations, new and old, they use a very similar framework for how they think about budgeting for their marketing plan for the year. These are often largely based on driving year-over-year growth or year-over-year comps. And a lot of times the metrics you're building towards are conversion-based, driving more conversions than last year or more attributed revenue and so on and so forth. These budgets are often then optimized to driving more conversions, right? More conversions in Facebook, more conversions in your Google tools or other programmatic platforms. And these KPIs are often transaction centric. So more sales and more day-to-day revenue. And so that is easy to report. It will often lead, as you might expect, it sort of optimizes what you're doing throughout the year to the bottom of the funnel, or things that are happening right before transactions are being accrued after your marketing. And it also kind of like a hidden element here is that it will center your investment around a lot of your peak seasons. So when people are typically going to buy, whether it's because of holiday shopping season or other seasonal effects, you tend to find that these strategies optimized to third-party conversion, year-over-year improvement, will move your budgets to a place where they're overly invested in your peak seasons and they miss a lot of key opportunities throughout the year. And finally, and of course, like the hardest thing for your overall organization to deal with and understand is when you're driving year-over-year comps in your conversions, it does not mean you're necessarily driving year-over-year improvement to the business. So the impact that that plan and executing against that plan has on final P&L that's better isn't always the case. There's not always a relationship there. So that budgeting process needs to move from a conversion-based year-over-year comp structure to something that's prioritizing incremental enterprise value. So what we mean by that is bringing business data into the conversation and optimizing the entire budget plan to driving incremental business outcomes. So you need to know not just the business data, but then you need to have an understanding of what marketing is driving that's incremental to your base sales. And then going from there, building KPIs that are not transaction centric, but customer centric, customer journey centric, and understand that that incremental value comes from incremental customer value growth. Your reporting models change, again, away from driving just additional third-party conversions to seeing the reporting and the incrementality of marketing, right out of your system of record, right? The same things that the finance teams look at, having that brought into your marketing plan and budget strategy and reporting. And then what that then allows you to do is not invest and spend, too much on the bottom of the funnel or too much in a peak season, but to have spend begin essentially going towards the things that are driving the best incremental ROI or predicted incremental ROI. The beauty here is that the impact of this is always seen in the bottom line because we're bringing the bottom line to the budget plan and, essentially looking at these things as one and the same. When you drive more success in this budgeting strategy, you see it from the business side. So what are a couple tangible examples of what the shift could look like for your business? Here's a few things to think about. So you might have a bidding strategy today that is, say, like leveraging Google Smart Bidding using TROAS, and all of your data might be from, say, an enhanced conversion perspective. So that essentially shifting from that framework to a framework that does still use AI, Google Smart Bidding TROAS is still there, but moving that to a first-party framework, and an example being the overstory Google algorithm. From a budgeting perspective, you probably have, again, your annual, conversion plan or your pacing report by quarter, by week, et cetera. So your QBR for the conversion pacing report maybe is the center of your marketing plan. And that shifting from that framework of a QBR to drive conversions to something like a first-party framework that brings in system of record and incrementality. An example here again, like Overstory's business reporting. And then frankly, just any tool that marketing and your CFO can use and look at together and have a shared view of what marketing is driving from a incremental top and bottom line perspective. A couple things to double click on here on the bidding side. So what happens, or what are some things that you'll see tactically based on some examples we have at Bonsai? On the bidding side, we just want to cover like, well, what does it really mean? Like, what does it look like under the hood when you're comparing what data exists in the third-party conversion world versus what you get with first-party value prediction? This is an example snapshot of one of the ways that first-party value prediction essentially sets the platforms up for much better success. So here we have an example from a client where there across the bottom of this chart is the essentially like the interaction number for a customer journey. So number 1 is the beginning of their journey. Number 20 at the right is sort of like the 20th step in their journey or even beyond. And you see kind of two divergent data points. The line is essentially how something like floodlight conversion tracking is seeing value and then training Google to buy. So you see here, because there's this pool of traffic that isn't incremental, the data feeding Google Smart Bidding from Floodlight is essentially valuing uh, the end of the funnel, or it's valuing touch points that are being repeated from the same customers, essentially like probably quite a bit more than they should. The green bars are the first party algorithm that sees how customer value is being driven across touch points of different types from the beginning all the way through the end, and are more appropriately like allocating what types of clicks and what types of data are more likely to be valuable. And that data is then able to be sent back and power buying at scale through Google. Consumer journey is one framework, but as I think mentioned earlier in the webinar, there's many signals. Another example being the sort of devices people are interacting from. So you see, like in this example, again, a first-party algorithm is able to understand that users coming from, say, Windows, Macintosh, Chrome OS, iOS, kind of like the typical devices we know our customers engage on. Those are seen as the more valuable types of customer interactions. But then on the conversion data, or third-party Floodlight side, we see that actually like the highest relative value that those pixel conversions see are coming from touch points that don't have a reported device. So there's lots of reasons why you might have that, but essentially like those are touch points that are much less likely to be coming from real high value customers, and are often essentially conversions that are being fed in from overvalued remnant inventory, potentially not and always leaving legitimate inventory. On the budgeting side, it gets really more exciting when you start seeing like how all of this essentially line of sight from the first party data set can power a strategy from the old QBR report from third party conversions all the way to incremental first party value. So here we have a different case study and a different example, but this is what it can look like. So in this case, you have essentially a client of ours whose uh, essentially paradigm was planning and optimizing to driving as many conversions as they can across their digital marketing strategy, which is their sort of last year, the lighter green bars on these two charts. And then you see the darker green bars, which is this year, and then a point when they began actually investing and strategizing around what they saw in first-party MTA and incrementality results. And so the outcomes are great. They didn't need to have additional media spend, but we're able to like instantly see a change, not just in sales, but also in customers that were being driven from marketing. And so you see when we say that like these things can go from the marketing plan and then show up in the enterprise bottom line and top line, this is a perfect example of when this data is powering your budgeting strategy, you can see material improvement. So this is like a big part of what we recommend everyone do in 2025. So I know we covered a lot today. Appreciate everyone who came to the webinar, and excited to share out this content after, both in total and in parts. I think, Allie, are you still on the webinar?
Yes, I'm still here.
Great, sorry. I really appreciate, again, you guys all bearing with me as I, navigating all of our different content days. Apologize for any video hiccups, but yeah, just For the rest of the time we have today, we just want to throw it open to anyone in the live chat. If you have additional questions on any of the content pieces, we have all of our subject matter experts and speakers here today who are available to take your questions, whether it be Google Ads related, Meta, AI and marketing, or any other topic.
Matt, I see one question just kind of around like how the Google Ads buying can work with first party conversion. Didn't know if you wanted to take that while we have folks still.
For sure. And I think, so good question, and I will, I guess, answer this for both the Google side and then Meta, and then you could think about this for potentially extending into other walled garden platforms as well. But the thing to know is that like all of these tools, like the same tools, same essentially API tools that exist to send additional conversion data to Google Ads or to Meta. Those tools essentially are essentially great they're conduits for you to also be able to leverage first-party data beyond just sending conversions. So you can send essentially like first-party predicted value data at scale and essentially have those things being brought into the ads interfaces and ads tools so that Google sees your first-party data as essentially the same input as what it uses to buy against in smart bidding. So you just imagine, you know, if you're a practitioner in the tools, you might be used to seeing different lists of conversions in your tool. So you might have like online conversions and maybe your offline conversion. It effectively can work just like that. You can create value prediction conversion in your Google Ads um, or even Search Ads 360 platform. And then that can be used to brought in predictions at scale and operate your program.
Thanks, Matt. I have one other one. The question is, could these AI-driven first-party database budgeting solution in lead gen B2B funnel with limited amounts of data?
Oh yeah, great question. So I think, and I would say like this is a great question for B2B, but also like let's call it like long sales cycle, like big ticket B2C as well. So like, you know, can you um, take the same approach for where you might have like not as much volume of data? And so the short answer is yes. That's like the really key part about onboarding like the full context of the customer journey. So you can understand that, say, you might only have, you know, a handful of sales a year. You know, you might only have like, if depending on the B2B environment, right? If you only have, you know, 50 to 100 some sales a year, you don't have to have it all concentrated around when those buying cycles are, but you can actually get data up the funnel. So in each business will be different. So you might have a SQL step, an MQL step. You might have like a qualification step. There might be other things in your and you might use plenty of tools for this, right? You might have homegrown CRM solutions. You might be a Salesforce organization, or you might have kind of other elements. But every one of these things can be onboarded, essentially like modeled in a journey, and then you can essentially allocate and budget against what is essentially the expected value of those strategies and touch points.
I don't see any others, but if there's any other questions, feel free to drop them in or ping Matt or anyone on the team that, you know, was sharing today. We can definitely help you answer and solve any of your questions. As we mentioned at the beginning, we were recording, so we will send this out and you will have full access to the deck and the full recording, hopefully in the next 24 hours as well.
Yeah, thank you everybody, and we really wish everyone a super successful 2025. It's exciting times, a lot of stuff changing, but you know, really excited to see all the success and partner with you, everyone who came today. So thank you.